Hi chocolate friends, Carla with Opening Chocolate here. So today I am going to talk about this one. I got stacks of these bars. I got too many. Dr. Bronner's Magic All-One Chocolate. And this is, you may have heard of this company from somewhere else. So they are known in the US for their soap. They have these crazy bottles of soap with chaotic labels with all kinds of writing on the label. Maybe I'll put a picture here if I can find one. And just known for their organic soaps and their philosophy, their all-one philosophy. So the chocolate is new to them, but let me give you a little bit of background. It's actually a really interesting company background, and I'm going to give you a very abbreviated version. If you want to look it up, you can go to their website. They've got lots of information on their website about the history. So it was Dr. Bronner's Magic All-One Soap was founded in 1948 by Emanuel Bronner, but at that time he wasn't going by that name. So he was actually a descendant of, he was a third generation Jewish German soap maker. And he had immigrated to the US in 1929. And with the rise of Hitler, he dropped the Heil at the beginning of his names and he adopted the honorific of doctor. Frustrating to those of us who have gone through graduate school, who have earned those titles, but yes. So he then became Dr. Bronner. Hey guys, sorry for the hard edit. I had to make some changes to the video. To describe this part of Dr. Bronner's history, I chose my words very poorly, and I was rightly called on it, and so I need to make a change. I am going to read his history right from their website so that I don't misuse any words, and I apologize if I triggered or offended you. That was not my intention. I should have used my words better. I hope that in the future I will use my words better, and I hope that this will help remedy the problem here. Again, I apologize, and I'll read you the history that I had to edit from their website. So, in 1929, Dr. Bronner's powerful personality, Zionist ideals, and ideas for modern soap making led to clashes with his father and uncles, and he immigrates to the US. With the rise of the Nazis, he drops Heil from his last name. In the 1940s, the Nazi Party nationalizes the family soap factory. Dr. Bronner's parents are deported and killed in Auschwitz and Theresienstadt. In 1945, Dr. Bronner escapes Elgin State Insane Asylum after being institutionalized for vehemently espousing his views. Later blames shock treatments that he received for declining eyesight and blindness in the 60s. So that's the part I had to edit. I apologize again for my poor choice of words, and I hope that I can do better in the future. So let's send you back to the rest of the video. So in 1945, he actually escapes from the insane asylum, and in 1948 starts his soap factory and uses the labels to spread his all-one message. So if you've ever read the chocolate bars are not quite as chaotic as the soap. They don't have quite as much information on them. But yes, the company has 6 cosmic principles, and I'll read them to you because I don't get them wrong. So 1, work hard. 2, do right by customers. 3, treat employees like family. 4, be fair to suppliers. 5, treat the earth like home. 6, find and fight for what's right. And so that's part of their principles. There's a lot more into it. If you want to read the labels, yes, please do. The magic component on the chocolate bar comes from the special relationship between the producers and farmers around the world and the abundant, fertile soil and thriving communities. So that's some of the philosophical ideals behind it. There's a lot more that's in there, but I'll leave that up to you to look up yourself. So in 1997, Dr. Bronner passed away, and his sons and his grandsons and their wives take over the company. By 2003, they were the largest certified USDA organic personal care company. In 2007, they were certified fair trade. In 2016, they started a Fair Pay Today campaign, which the name implies what it was. By 2019, their factories were run on 100% renewable energy. And by 2021, that's when we have the chocolate being launched. So the chocolate came about from one of their other activities. So they have a lot of social activism in the company. So maybe you've seen the son. He was son. I can't remember which one. I think it was a grandson. He was one of the guys that was trying to get hemp not to be illegal to be grown in the United States, and he was in a cage outside the White House when Obama was president. So maybe you've seen him for that. One of the projects that they did was their Serendipalm project in Ghana, and what it was a fair trade, organic fair trade palm oil project. Many of you probably know that palm oil is problematic for several reasons. So they wanted to use palm oil in their products, but they wanted it to be organic. They wanted it to be fair trade. So they started this project in Ghana. So the first time, like on the drive to Serendipalm was the first time that they saw the colorful ovoid pods that are cocoa, and they asked the driver, what are those? And they realized that it was another crop of whose products they had consumed for years without bothering to think about where and how it grew. So before they started Serendipalm in 2008, they knew that farmers intercropped. So not only did they plant the palms, but they also planted citrus and cassava and maize and cocoa and all kinds of other things in there. But they also knew that the cocoa was treated with a lot of pesticides because they'd seen it. They had seen the guys out there spraying with the yellow canisters, and they knew that spraying happened. Now, most of the farmers, their experience was that most of the farmers were not aware of the risk, or were told by government suppliers there was no alternatives to those kind of pesticides. So in 2012, when a rep from a German organic brand was visiting Serendipalm, they speculated about turning their cocoa organic because they were intercropping this with their palm trees. And so that's when the process began. So this process began almost a decade ago. In 2013, they started their conversion to organic. Organic is converting to certified organic is not a fun process for farmers. You have to basically, while you're in conversion, the farmers have no economic incentive to carry on. They're not paid while they're in conversion. They face challenges without financial reward. So it's difficult to convert to organic. And that's where Serendipalm and Bronner's came in, where they paid for the recertification expenses and for the means of conversion. Now, in the early 2012, 2013, around there, the Cocoa Board, which is the governing body in Ghana over cocoa supplies, saw that organic was becoming more important to consumers, and they decided to start supplying free organic pesticide pyrethrum, which is derived, extracted from chrysanthemums. So there was that, but there's still this ongoing expense because it does take years to convert. And so Bronner's, based on the work that they had done before in Serendipalm, knew that their approach had to have at least two things going on for it. They had to develop a low cost and effective organic pesticide, which they did. They used ream oil and soap. Surprise. And they also purchased quality saws for the farmers because they saw that the machetes that they used were damaging the cushions where the flowers come out on the tree. So the first 3 years of conversion were rough. About half of the farmers they had recruited were afraid of pest-induced losses and returned to spraying non-organic pesticides and left the group. So the clock had to start again. So yeah, it's this process, and we demand it as consumers in the West, but we don't often understand the cost and the process and the basically sacrifice that farmers have to do to become organically certified. It's hard and expensive and often very difficult. So by 2016, with the financial support and means of conversion from Serendipalm and Bronner's, they had 100 certified organic cocoa farmers. Now at that point, they weren't thinking about quality because it never even crossed their mind. But then reps from Theo Chocolate and Germany's Rapunzel showed them, if you know about Theo's Flavor Labs, showed them that cocoa beans are complex and they have flavors and there's a quality aspect that goes into it. So they started to incorporate that into it, and they had these buyers. So Theo was one of the buyers, Germany's Rapunzel was one of the buyers. So by 2017, they had their first organic cocoa shipments going to Germany. So here we are in 2021, and they're just starting their line. So they don't have a plain dark bar. All of their bars have inclusions. There's a salted almond butter, salted dark chocolate, roasted whole hazelnuts, smooth coconut praline. Coconut is one of the flavor notes that's often geographically associated with Ghana. Crunchy hazelnut butter, that sounds fun. And salted whole almonds. Now, Dr. Bronner's doesn't make the chocolate. They private label it with somebody. They're very transparent on their website. So when I flip the camera around, I'll tell you a little bit more about that. But they're not transparent about who's making their chocolate. So they give you hints. They say that it is a Swiss chocolate maker who's been around for 160 years. That narrows it down. There's not a lot that have been around for that long. I have a guess at who it is, but I can't say for sure. I couldn't find any import records or anything to really nail it down to who I think it was. So I have a guess at who it was, but I'm not going to say because I'm not 100% sure. But it is someone who, after 160 years, should know what they're doing with chocolate. So let's flip the camera around. We'll try and navigate the chaotic wrapper that is Dr. Bronner's, and we'll taste some chocolate. All right, so here's my chocolate bars. So let's dive into these wrappers. There's a lot to see. So this came with my bars. One of the things that they mentioned that was they want to model a move away from extractive capitalism to a truly constructive model for the countries. So I'm not going to read everything on the wrapper, so I'll just see if I can get this to focus for a minute. The philosophical stuff, it's kind of all over the place on the sides. Wherever there's a space, they squeeze something in. But let's take a look at these certifications. So we've got organic, fair for life, that's their pay program. I'm not sure what those two are. GMO free certified. There is no GMO cocoa. I don't know about the nuts that are in here. Oh, this is so tiny. Vegan, certified B Corp. I don't know what that one is, so I'll have to look some of these up. Let's see, whatever. Okay. So it looks like they do some mass balance here. I don't know if you can see this, it's so tiny. It says contains at least 80% fair for life, fair trade certified ingredients. So there is some mixing with non fair trade, fair for life ingredients. Let's see what else is important to us as far as chocolate goes. So organic, magic, salted whole almonds. They're very transparent on their site about where the ingredients come from. I didn't make note of the nuts. So if we look on the back here, Cocoa Magic. So yes, regenerative, or they do practice support agroforestry. This paper wrapper is recyclable. Let's see. So we've got cocoa beans, organic coconut sugar. Their coconut sugar they source from Indonesia, a female-owned organic fair trade company. Cocoa sugar, almonds, cocoa butter they source from a regenerative organic certified company out of Congo. Sea salt, fair trade, vanilla beans. They get their vanilla beans from Madagascar. Not all of their cocoa comes from Serendipalm, so some comes from other places in Ghana that have been certified cooperative names that you would recognize. So let's see here. What else? There's so much on here. What else am I missing? Okay, so 100% recyclable. We've got our best before date. I think that's all on the wrapper with regard to chocolate. There's lots of other stuff on the wrapper, but I'm not going to go over that one and read that to you on this. So I'm thinking I might like to try crunchy hazelnut butter. I'm not going to try the coconut because coconut's such an overwhelming flavor. And maybe the salted dark, because that will give me I'll kind of be able to tell what the chocolate tastes like. We'll see some of the quality because salt is an easy note to pick out. So let's do that one first. So like I said, the wrappers are recyclable. So much information on there. Oh, and even on the inside. So a little bit about the story growing on the inside. Why am I not surprised that there's more on the inside? Okay, let's open this up. See what we got. Well, it definitely has a nice smell. I don't know if you can see what it says. This is for we are all one or none. All one. Okay, so nice thick bar, good snap. You can kind of see the salt inclusions on the back there. Not super shiny, but fine, decent enough. Let's give it a smell. I'm going to warm it up a little bit, warm the cocoa butter up to release the aromatics, and we'll check the aroma and the taste. Okay, so when I taste this, yeah, it has a dark roasted smell to the cocoa, and a vanilla aroma. When I taste it, you get the dark roast and salt right away, but you also get, as you go, you get a little bit of nuts. Actually, nuts is a pretty pronounced note in there, like hazelnuts. And then there's this kind of back of the mouth fruitiness that kind of just hangs out, hiding back there. And it's a little bit astringent on the finish, but that tends to happen when you have a thicker bar like this, that they can be a little more astringent. It's fine. Would I say it's going to win any awards? Probably not, but it's fine. So let's try this one. I'm interested to try the ones with the different butters. Everybody likes a nut butter and chocolate together. This one is the crunchy hazelnut butter. So their bars are all vegan, organic, fair trade, kosher. The first run of bars was not gluten-free certified, but this run is now. Oops. Oh, so this one's come a little bit out of temper. It's got a little bit of a bloom on it. You can see that. Oh, there. And it broke, so you can see there's the nut butter inside. Still a good snap. Softer than this one, but still fine. But it has bloomed a little. So let's see what I can smell. So what I can smell in this one is I can actually smell the coconut sugar in this one. Yeah, I can definitely smell coconut. And the hazelnut is not a strong smell. I can smell the dark roasted cocoa again. But it was interesting first flavor, a little bit acidic, but the more that I tasted it, the more the hazelnut flavor came through. It's not super strong. If you're thinking this is going to taste like a gianduja, not exactly. A little bit different. The fruitiness of the chocolate comes through more combined with the nuts, but not like the Patrick OMG PBJ. So it's just different. But I mean, it's tasty. I want to eat this piece. So I'm not going to open all of them today. Probably worth trying. I don't know. They hit all the sustainable aspects that you may or may not be interested in. They're quite transparent on their website about where they get ingredients. So if you have the ingredients listed and you're curious where they come from and that's something that interests you, it is something that you can find out on their website. But they are more transparent than some quality chocolate makers that I can think of. So let's flip the camera around and we'll finish up. All right, so that's Dr. Bronner's magic chocolate. I got mine off of Amazon. I haven't been to any health food stores recently, so I'm not sure if you can buy them in the health food stores. So I'll put a link down below where I found mine, and you can check it out if you want. And I think that's all I have to say about Dr. Bronner's. But if you're not subscribed yet and you made it all the way to the end of this video, why haven't you subscribed? So we can hang out every Thursday and talk about something chocolate. I love talking chocolate with you guys. Drop me a question, a comment, something, and I will see you next week with something else about chocolate. Thanks for watching.